This episode is brought to you by MeUndies. While MeUndies can't totally help your love life this Valentine's Day, they can offer you insanely comfy undies and loungewear to buy or gift. MeUndies has so many awesome Valentine's Day prints and styles. Plus, you can match with your partner, friends, or even your pets. This Valentine's Day, give the gift that'll keep them thinking of you and score huge site-wide savings at MeUndies.com/Spotify. That's MeUndies.com/Spotify. MeUndies. Comfort from the outside in.
101. And coming here, the Barrowland Ballroom, the Barrowlands, you had some foundational moments here in your life, coming to see Jesus and Mary Chain, Primal Scream, eventually playing here, headlining with Mogwai. Do you feel the energy when you're walking here?
Yes. I get a kind of tingling up my neck. This is one of the most special places for me on the planet. It's actually funny, I made a mistake in my book. I made a lot of mistakes, but one mistake I made is I talk about the Mary Chain was the first gig I ever went to here, and I actually got a list of every gig, and it actually was the Cramps. Okay. And at the end, and I saw a poster for it on the way up.
Seeing the Cramps here, I mean, I just imagine
unbelievable.
When you were a teenager,
a little teenager, I was a small kid.
I'm lucky enough to have an older sister.
Yeah. I sneaked in, dressed up like a girl. So, it was amazing, and it was kind of dangerous back then as well. Kind of rough. It was kind of edgy and.
People were flying over from America to here to see a Taylor Swift concert.
Because they thought it was cheap.
It's cheaper, including the flights.
She's probably been so removed from all of this stuff for so long that I'm not even having a go at her, but the people pulling the strings do know. They do know. And like Oasis as well, like what they're doing is they're lessening the chance of a new Oasis or a new Taylor Swift. And you even see it at festival bills. I mean, most festival bills are bands that were headlining festivals are bands that were going before we started.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's because there was a pathway that is less and less there now. And it goes back to the class thing, you know, like I'm sure, and why there's less bands. People, I think it was the dude from, is it Richard Osman, the author, TV show guy, and he was like talking about how there's hardly any bands, and it's bloody obvious why there's no bands. You can't afford to take 4 or 5 people on tour. Record labels don't have the money to send 4 or 5 people around to go and do interviews. They're going to sign the one person. And if you're into music, you're probably thinking as well, like, what chance have I got? What chance have I got with my 3 mates? Or what chance have I got with just me? And yeah, it's shifted. And maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe that's just the way it's going. But as someone who's had a lot of fun playing in bands, I think it kind of is a bit of a sad thing.
101. You know, talking about 101 part-time jobs.
Yeah.
I love that story where you're going to the dole office and you managed to drop a 250 quid check.
It was the only money I'd ever made from any music, and I dropped it. Which meant also that they stopped my dole money and I had to move back in with my parents.
You know, when you think about some real gaffes that you've done, that you've kind of made.
Not me, but one of the bands went to the wrong hotel. That always amuses me. Like, I guess it was a Marriott, but they went to a different Marriott and tried to get into the wrong room.
Spinal Tap is real.
Yeah, Spinal Tap is very real. Yeah, I once tried to go for a pee in the middle of the night and locked myself out of my hotel room naked. I've done that once or twice. So yeah, I guess the thing about being a band is you end up in ridiculous situations, maybe more than you do in regular everyday life, because you're always in a different place, and especially when you're younger, you tend to be drunk all the time or whatever. But yeah, you find a way.
Cheers for watching. This is 101 Part-Time Jobs. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and all podcast apps. We've done interviews with Aurora, Kneecap, Idols, Lauren Maybury of Churches, and loads more. So tap into 101 Part-Time Jobs on Spotify, Apple, and all podcast apps.